Last week, I had the opportunity to travel to Cologne, Germany, for a business trip to Gamescom. Luckily, I had a couple of days before work started, so I decided to do some sightseeing and, of course, vlog the experience. This was actually my first time visiting Europe since 2019 when I last went back home to Ireland to catch up with some friends. And let me tell you, if I was already looking forward to moving back to Europe someday, this trip made me even more motivated than ever. The flight itself had a small delay due to the weather, but nothing too serious, and after about 14 long hours in the air, I finally landed in Frankfurt, Germany. From there, it was a quick train ride to Cologne where my adventure really began. One of the first things I wanted to do was stretch my legs, so I took a walk along the famous Rhine River. The Rhine is one of Europe's longest and most important rivers. It flows through 6 different countries and has been a lifeline for trade and culture for centuries. In Cologne, it cuts right through the city, giving you these incredible views with bridges, boats, and the cathedral always looming in the background. Speaking of Cologne, the city itself is full of history. It's over 2,000 years old, originally founded by the Romans, and today is best known for a stunning Gothic cathedral. But it's not just history. Cologne also has a really lively modern vibe with cozy cafes, street art, and a reputation for being one of Germany's friendliest cities. After soaking in the river views, I walked about 2 kilometers over to the Cologne Zoo. Fun fact, it's one of the oldest and most respected zoos in Germany. Founded way back in 1860, it's home to 10,000 animals from all over the world, and the enclosures are really well designed. You get a sense they care a lot about conservation and education, not just showing animals. And it's a great place to just wander around and relax, especially if you want to take a break from the busy city center. And here in the zoo, we can see many different types of animals, like the elephant that you're seeing right now, or the meerkat that's just about to pop up. The meerkats are so cute. They're looking around like they're in the wild looking for their predators so that they can live another day. And finally, after walking past the meerkats just for a little bit, we are able to see one of the cutest animals in the world, the otters. Now, the otter enclosure at this zoo was very nice because it was very open and it had a nice water slide for the otters to really enjoy. After the zoo, my colleagues and I grabbed some lunch. We went for proper German food, currywurst, schnitzel, and of course some local sausages. Simple but honestly really tasty, especially after walking around all morning. The weather was perfect that day. Blue skies, not too hot and not too cold. So after lunch, we made our way to Cologne's most famous landmark, the Cologne Cathedral. Now, the cathedral itself is massive. It's not just the tallest building in the city, it's actually the most visited landmark in all of Germany. Construction first began in the 1200s, and believe it or not, it took more than 600 years to finish. It's one of the greatest examples of Gothic architecture in the world, with these soaring twin spires that dominate the skyline. During the Second World War, the cathedral was heavily damaged, but it somehow survived the bombings when much of the city was destroyed. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and when you're standing right in front of it, the details are just overwhelming. The sculptures, the stained glass, everything feels larger than life. Even if you're not into history or architecture, the sheer size and atmosphere inside make it an unforgettable experience. Walking inside the cathedral is a completely different experience. The noise of the city disappears, and suddenly you're surrounded by towering stone pillars that seem to stretch endlessly upward. The stained glass windows cast colorful light across the floor, and you really get a sense of just how massive the place is. One of the highlights is the Shrine of the Three Kings. It is said to hold the remains of the biblical Magi. Whether you're religious or not, it's hard to not to feel a sense of awe here. The scale of history and the silence all make it truly unforgettable. After the cathedral, we went straight to the chocolate museum because honestly, what's better after sightseeing than more sugar? The place is right by the Rhine, and inside you get a crash course on chocolate history, from the Mayans all the way to modern candy bars. They even have a real cocoa tree in the greenhouse, which made me realize, yeah, I've been eating this stuff my whole life and never once thought about where it comes from. The best part though is the chocolate fountain. A giant golden tower with warm chocolate flowing down. You grab a wafer, dip it in, and boom, instant happiness. I was this close to asking if I could just bring a straw. And of course, the gift shop was impossible to escape. I told myself I'd buy one bar, and I walked out with like 5. No regrets. After that, it was finally time to head back toward the station and make my way to the Cologne mess for some actual work. But on the walkover, I stumbled across this cozy little Irish pub called the Krafton. And honestly, the moment I saw it, I couldn't help but think of home. There's just something comforting about finding a bit of Ireland in the middle of Germany. For a second, I was this close to ditching work for a pint of Guinness, but don't worry, I behaved myself. Mostly. The main reason I came to Cologne was for Gamescom, the world's biggest gaming convention. The city was packed with trailers, demos, and gamers everywhere. This year I love seeing the strong Korean presence. Companies like Kakao Games, Pearl Abyss, and Krafton really showed that Korea is now a true global player in gaming. After work, and before heading home, I spent a little time in Frankfurt. One of the first things I saw was the big blue Euro sign, a small but powerful reminder that I was truly back in Europe. I also walked across the bridge, famous for its thousands of love locks. It's such a simple tradition, but standing there looking at all those locks left behind by couples from around the world felt really special. And with that, my trip to Germany came to an end. From exploring Cologne's riverfront, zoo, and the cathedral to indulging at the chocolate museum and of course, the energy of Gamescom, it was a short, but honestly an unforgettable trip. If you enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share. It helps a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.